Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and unpack the mystery behind one of the most formidable challenges in modern medicine. We're talking about pancreatic cancer, which is pretty widely known as the deadliest and hardest to detect cancer out there. I mean, it's a disease so incredibly stealthy that it has famously claimed the lives of even the toughest, most physically fit athletes. We're talking legendary baseball managers, sumo grand champions, people in peak condition. And it leaves both patients and doctors so frustrated because for the longest time, there just hasn't been a clear, established method for early detection. But that is finally changing. And today, we're going to decode exactly how.
So I want you to put on your medical detective hat for a second. What if I told you that the key to spotting this silent thief early doesn't actually start in some high-tech MRI machine, but rather right in your very own bathroom? It's true. We're going to learn how to spot these hidden SOS clues that our bodies are literally leaving behind every single day. Things like our urine and stool can actually act as these incredible early warning systems if you just know what to look for.
All right, part one, the hidden enzyme factory.
So the pancreas itself is tucked way, way deep in the back of our bodies, right behind the stomach. It's shaped a bit like a small tadpole. And because of this super hidden location, it doesn't have direct pain receptors like your intestines do. It can't exactly give you a stomach ache when something starts going wrong, which is exactly why it has earned the rather chilling nickname, the silent organ.
But you know, just because it's silent definitely doesn't mean it isn't working hard. This behind-the-scenes factory has two absolutely massive daily jobs. First off, it's an enzyme factory. It creates these vital digestive juices like amylase, lipase, and trypsin, which basically act as covering fire for our digestion. Second, it's a hormone controller, producing insulin to keep our blood sugar in check. So, if this factory goes down, our entire system just gets thrown into complete chaos.
Which brings us to part two, bathroom SOS signs. Now, here's where things get really interesting. A whopping 80% of pancreatic cancers form right at the head of that tadpole shape. So why does that matter? Well, right next to it is the bile duct, which is basically a major pipe carrying digestive fluid from your liver. When a tumor grows right there, it acts exactly like a roadblock on a major highway, squeezing that duct narrower and narrower until it's just completely blocked.
Okay, so what actually happens when that bile gets blocked? Well, bile contains this yellowish pigment called bilirubin, and that's actually what gives your stool its normal brown color. But with a roadblock in place, that bilirubin backflows right into your body. Your kidneys frantically try to filter it out, which turns your urine into this dark orange color, kind of like concentrated mandarin juice. Meanwhile, because it's deprived of that pigment, your stool might turn pale or even completely white. These are major, major danger signs right there in the toilet bowl.
And actually, it doesn't even stop at color. Remember that enzyme lipase we mentioned a minute ago, the one that digests fats? Well, if that roadblock stops lipase from reaching your food, your body literally can't break down dietary fats anymore. So you might start noticing oily, floating stool that leaves an unusually sticky residue in the toilet. That is your body practically shouting that its fat-digesting factory has been shut down.
And that backflow of bilirubin we talked about, it doesn't just hit the kidneys and the digestive tract, it literally leaks out into your skin and your eyes. This is what causes jaundice, that visible yellowing of the skin and the whites of your eyes. Plus, as this pigment deposits into the skin, it can cause this severe, totally unexplained, and just maddening full-body itching. Now consider this. What if your blood sugar suddenly spikes for absolutely no apparent reason? You eat healthy, you exercise, you haven't gained any weight, and yet suddenly you're diagnosed with diabetes. This bizarre clue could actually be the pancreas's insulin factory completely failing because it's being quietly destroyed by a hidden tumor. It is a critical warning sign that warrants immediate investigation. Moving on to part three, the detection dilemma.
So by now, you're probably thinking, hey, can't we just scan for this thing? Unfortunately, our standard detective tools really lack the scientific evidence to reliably catch this early on. Because the pancreas is so deeply hidden, standard ultrasounds and CT scans can easily just miss those subtle early signs. And those blood tests for tumor markers? Yeah, they usually only spike when the cancer is already pretty advanced. So currently, there just isn't a globally recommended, scientifically proven early screening method.
But science is fighting back. Part 4, the microRNA breakthrough. We really need to talk about microRNA. I absolutely love the analogy the source material uses for this. Think of microRNA as these tiny little carrier pigeons inside your body. Their entire job is to fly around and deliver messages that regulate exactly how your cells expand, multiply, and behave. To make this biology super easy to grasp, think of your DNA as the master blueprint.
RNA acts as the copier, duplicating the instructions. And microRNA, those are your carrier pigeons. Now here is the sinister part. Cancer cells actively hijack these pigeons. They literally change their messages to tell the body to let the cancer expand. But if we can intercept these hacked messengers, we can spot the cancer before a tumor ever even appears on a scan.
And here is the absolute game changer to our biological mystery. Where do we actually find these intercepted messages? Well, it turns out cancer-specific microRNA leaks right out of the body, through the very urine we were talking about earlier. We don't even need to dig deep into the hidden pancreas. The clues are literally being flushed away every single day.
I really want to emphasize this dramatic number, 1, as in stage 1. Recent research, including new technologies like the MySignal test mentioned in our source, has shown that by analyzing just 3 tiny millimeters of urine, which is basically just a few drops you can collect at home, scientists can intercept these microRNA carrier pigeons and detect the risk of pancreatic cancer starting right from stage 1. This is just a massive leap forward from the days of only finding it when it was way too late.
Finally, part 5, taking action. So, what are the actual takeaways here? First and foremost, never ever ignore those bathroom SOS signs. Changes in urine or stool color are literally your body asking for help. Keep a really close eye on sudden, unexplained blood sugar spikes, too. You also want to manage your known risks. Studies show things like heavy smoking, excessive alcohol, and unmanaged diabetes can actually double your risk. And of course, the foundation of all cancer prevention is still a balanced diet, regular exercise, and getting enough sleep.
If there is just one thing you take away from today, it's this quote right here. Listen to your body's silent signals. They might just be shouting. The silent organ actually speaks to us quite loudly through our chemistry and our daily habits if we just know how to listen.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I'm going to leave you with this. Are you paying enough attention to the clues your body leaves behind every single day? Armed with this knowledge about the pancreas, those bathroom signs, and the incredible new science of microRNA, you are now in a much better position to protect your own health. Keep learning, stay curious, and always listen to your body.